3, 2, 1. That was Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel. And I think a lot of people have been. Simone Biles now has said that she will compete, I think, in the balance beam. Arguably one of the more dangerous events in gymnastics. A lot of her looking out for herself was met with a lot of recriminations and rancor. Everybody seemingly has something to say, from Piers Morgan to Charlie Chris or Kirk, whatever the idiot's name is. And the thing that I find interesting is one of the things that happened and has happened even medically in terms of science with black women is that when they are in pain, no one believes them. When they tell you they're in pain, it's one of the reasons where when a black woman giving birth, when childbirth is particularly precarious for her, because doctors admittedly say that they don't believe them. They don't administer the proper care. They don't administer the proper medicine. And oftentimes it's a very dangerous time for black women to deliver babies because their lives are literally in the balance and their child's life is in the balance because there's a disbelief in the scientific community. Extrapolate that out and imagine what that looks like if somebody has something mentally off with them. Mentally off. I think that a lot of black women trying to tell somebody something's going on with you mentally is like trying to describe a sound. It's like trying to tell somebody, have you ever gone to a mechanic and you try to describe a sound and it's not making that sound, so you keep trying to describe it, and the only way you can know it is if you feel it. I think all of us know or hear it. All of us know when something's wrong. We all know internally. But knowing something is always so much easier than saying it out loud. What do you think it says to a lot of black women right now when they see what happens to Naomi Osaka, when they see what happens to Simone Biles? What do you think that makes them do? You think that's because we've just gone through a whole series of things where women were encouraged to speak about their traumas. They were encouraged to speak about the things that had happened to them sexually, the things that had happened to them at work, the overt advances. They were encouraged to come out and have conversations about their experiences. But two prominent black women in the last few months have done exactly that in terms of from the mental health aspect. And what has happened to them? Everybody's weighed in on it. Everybody. Political figures, commentators, writers. No one seems to believe that there can be something wrong with people, particularly black women. They just can't believe that something's wrong with them. They can't believe they're in pain, which is one of the very reasons they're in very real danger. They're in pain. They know how to say ouch. They took out time out for themselves. Now, I'm glad that Simone Biles is competing. I hope she did it for her. I hope she did it because she's ready. Because let's be clear. If what she describes as the twisties, which is the disconnect between your mind and your body, there's a synapse between that, and she gets hurt, if she would have gotten hurt, what would America do? They would say, oh, she knew the job, well, how hard it was. She knew the job was tough and took it, and she willingly stepped into the gauntlet. She did that. If she got hurt, the best they would do is a GoFundMe. That's the best they would do. I hope that the lesson that black women learn from this isn't to be cowed by the things that people say about you. It is to do what it is you need to do to take care of yourself. To do what it is you have to do. Because most people don't believe you when you say ouch. Most people don't believe you when you say you're at your wit's end. Most people don't believe you when you say that you're mentally struggling with something. You have to be the biggest advocates for your, as well as your physical health, your mental health, and damn what they say. And I'm more happy to see people finally yelling uncle, finally yelling I'm in pain, than going on and do something to please other people. Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, they do those things for you, for other people. They splay themselves for our pleasure, and what they get is they didn't do enough. So I hope when Simone Biles competes, I hope her mind, her body, and her spirit are together. I hope she kicks ass, but more importantly, I hope she's safe. And I hope she's taught a lot of people this one thing. It is okay to look out for you no matter what anybody else says. I'm telling you, when you see what happens, and you see the way black people are treated, and you see the black women are treated, is particularly when it comes to mental health issues, it's easier, almost easier, to tell somebody that something happened to you sexually than it is to say that you are having a problem mentally. They're both horrible, but at least people seem to be more sympathetic on one end. The other end, literally, is like trying to grab a sound. And when you're mentally ill or you're mentally weakened or you're mentally compromised, that sound is ouch. And it's okay to say it. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.